going to bring you tonight, at least the main information, ties in with all of those things. Has to do with politicians, celebrities, and what we think is or is not. This information comes by way of Michael Baxter, and he put this report out. This involves a situation several months ago at Lahaina, Hawaii. You're going to hear several names that you're going to recognize this evening, and many of those names are implicated in the genocide that happened in Lahaina. The U.S. Navy Judge Advocate General's Corps and Office of Military Commissions last week convicted Oprah Winfrey of accessory to mass murder and ultimately decreed that she get hanged by the neck until dead for abetting deep state criminals and contributing to malicious loss of life during last summer's Maui inferno. Now, as you recall, during that fire, which we already know, family, was a directed energy weapon, many celebrities lived on that island. And many of you probably already knew that Oprah had a house there. Well, as was reported, and this had been reported previously, JAG investigators apprehended Oprah Winfrey on December 3rd of 2023 while she was in Los Angeles to visit friend and fellow television personality Gayle King. Now, for those of you that don't know who Gayle King is, she's a broadcast journalist for CBS News. Miss Winfrey had missed her appointment with Gayle King because investigators had intercepted her limousine near a museum near Interstate 405. And the vehicle's other occupant, Miss Winfrey's personal chauffeur and valet, was tragically gunned down while reaching in his breast pocket for presidential immunity paperwork that the investigators had mistaken for a firearm. Shortly after that, JAG shipped Miss Winfrey to Guantanamo Bay, where they held her in pretrial confinement until the beginning of her military tribunal, which would have been Tuesday, February the 6th. Said Miss Winfrey wobbled into Gitmo's South Courtroom Tuesday morning and was a sickly reflection of the slenderer body double currently masquerading as Oprah in media appearances. This was a point that Vice Admiral Darcy E. Crandall commented on when a belligerent and winded Miss Winfrey protested the illegal tribunal and said that her fawning fans and friends would notice her societal absence and search the planet to find her. This may surprise you, detainee Winfrey, but no one knows you're gone. See, they replaced you with a skinny, well, not skinny, but skinnier Oprah Winfrey almost right away, and even coached your replacement on how to explain the weight difference. A miraculous diet. I went back, and apparently this body double has been out there at least since October. When you look at a picture of Oprah Winfrey in September and one of her in October, there very definitely is a difference. He went on to say that your fans are dolt, detainee Winfrey, and highly susceptible to suggestion. In the end, even you were little more than a useful but expendable asset, the Admiral said as a pair of MPs steered Winfrey to an oversized seat at the defense table. I have powerful friends, Winfrey said. Who, Barack and Michelle? Looks like even they couldn't spring you, the Admiral said. You'll get no help from me, Winfrey shouted. I won't be a party to incriminating myself. You've done that already, Admiral Crandall replied. We neither need nor want your help. Your arrogance, blind allegiance, and unscrupulous greed built our case. All we need is for you to sit and stay quiet until we're finished. And if you can't keep quiet, we'll make you quiet. Admiral Crandall then told a 3-officer panel JAG had evidence proving that Winfrey had foreknowledge about the unstoppable blaze that reduced Lahaina to mounds of ash last August, a catastrophe that reportedly began when strong high-pressure system north of Hawaii intensified easterly trade winds that toppled utility poles and power lines that hadn't been de-energized beforehand. In the aftermath, Hawaii Electric took responsibility for the deadliest wildfire in U.S. history. So Hawaii Electric actually were the fall guys for this. He went on to say, we've heard all the official narratives and refuting it plays no part in detaining Winfrey's tribunal today. Because frankly, we can't prove she knows that the cause was the new or exotic technology. She might not know because she didn't need to know. But she sure knew a disaster loomed on the horizon and stood to profit massively from it. Depraved indifference be damned, the Admiral said to the panel. Onto a large screen, he projected text messages Winfrey had deleted from her phone. But which Marine Corps Forces Cyberspace Command had recovered. The first, dated July 15th, 2023, 2 weeks before the fires, was from Hawaii Governor Josh Green. Green had written, Oprah, an event will soon forever change the Maui landscape. We believe your property is in the safe zone, but it would be prudent to protect it against what's to come. Winfrey, apparently clueless until that point, replied, really? I haven't seen anything in the weather. I have flood insurance and the property is built to code for typhoons, she said. The governor said, no, you're not getting it. Oprah, we've been years-long friends. I was told I could count on your cooperation. We're only letting a few people know. Eyes only. Remember the smart city ideas? That's a go. Maui has to change for that to happen. Just in case, fireproof your property, relocate irreplaceable valuables, and be somewhere else starting the second week of next month. Can we count on your backing? The ROI, or return on investment, will be profitable, Green wrote. Better yet, don't reply. Delete this. I'll come see, personally, Green added in a follow-up. I don't care if those people burn or get washed out to sea. A lot are just dirty people anyway, Winfrey replied before wiping the message chain. And prudent curiosity, however, prompted her to seek clarification from the she-male, the way he put it, Michael Robinson, also known as Michelle Obama. The Admiral avoided speculating why Winfrey through the Obamas were privy to an impending disaster, but pointedly remarked on Michelle's response to Winfrey's inquiry. Oh, we're making a new future, Miss Obama text. What rebuilt in Maui will become a blueprint for future cities nationwide. There'll be some residual mess to clean up, but it'll almost be like terraforming. And you and me and a handful of others will have equity in a future where people won't have to worry about what to do since they'll be guided on what to do. Miss Obama text. I have $3 billion, so what do I stand to gain? Winfrey text back. Potentially $30 billion, came the reply. $30 billion? Count me in. For that much, if my house there burns, IDGAF, wrote Winfrey. Miss Obama wrote, no, hun, they'll need to borrow your home for a bit. I'll arrange more details in a day or so. On August the 1st, Winfrey departed Maui for the mainland, and a FEMA team, disguised as contractors, started reinforcing her 44,300 square foot residence with fire-retardant silicone and coating her nearly 1,000 acres of land with what Vice Admiral Crandall called invisible fire block spray. He played surveillance videos showing 16 men in coveralls some wearing respirators, spraying a guest house with a prismatic liquid emanating from high-pressure hoses affixed to 50-gallon drums mounted on the beds of a fleet of pickup trucks. The Admiral paused the video and zoomed in on what appeared to be the crew's foreman. "This man is known to us," the Admiral addressed the panel. "That is FEMA Region 5 Deputy Director Michael Chesney. Current whereabouts unknown. I can't testify to Mr. Chesney's hobbies, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't just moonlighting far from his jurisdiction as a contractor." "Where did you get this video?" Oprah suddenly sprang to life. "You were illegally spying on my property?" Admiral Crandall said, "How we got it is not your concern, detainee Winfrey. That we have it at all should be your concern." Winfrey said, "But I disabled all cameras before leaving." The Admiral said, "That's an odd thing to do, isn't it? I assure you what you're seeing here isn't from your security system or doorbell footage." To resume the video. It clearly showed that FEMA was vested in safeguarding Whitney's property. Each day before the fire, FEMA applied a fresh coat of the fire-resistant compound. And on August 8th, as Lahaina burned and flames illuminated and lit the sky, throngs of armed FEMA agents sat comfortably in Winfrey's air-conditioned living room between assaults on a stunned populace trying to flee the inescapable firestorm. The Admiral told the panel she loaned her house to FEMA as an operating base. She's just as culpable as the agents that gunned down civilians. It's no different than if she pulled triggers herself, because she could have acted to save lives. Instead, detainee Winfrey, a devotee of the deep state, abetted FEMA's murderous actions, causing unimaginable despair. Why? For some people, even having $4 billion isn't enough. Money is a powerful motivator to these people. Then Oprah cried out, "They made me do it. I'm nothing but meat to them. I was afraid." The Admiral told Winfrey she had squandered an opportunity to force herself from the deep state, from FEMA, from the Obamas, and therefore would share the same fate as other deep staters that valued wealth and power over constitutional law. He concluded his denunciation by asking the panel to find Winfrey guilty of accessory to mass murder and conspiracy to commit mass murder and to return a sentence of death by hanging. A 4-hour deliberation ensued, after which the panel returned a verdict of guilty on all charges and recommended that Oprah's neck be placed in a noose. Admiral Crandall scheduled a date of execution for February 14th. So, family, we're still seeing more information coming out regarding the situation in Lahaina. Again, we already knew that this was something that was done by those of the globalists with the plans for the 15-minute cities, those high-tech cities that FEMA has been involved, etc. So now through these texts you see that others have been heavily involved as well. So family, we're moving forward now in the reset on behalf of each and every individual on this planet. Those of the righteous are going to be going forward in Father Yah's kingdom if they are identified. The indexing process is necessary to identify everyone as we move forward. Without that identification process, they will not have in place what they need to go forward in the reset. Just as Dr. Henderson, Yehoshua Mashiach, has explained to us, if you are not identified, you are doomed. So family, we are continuing to see additional changes. There are several states that have passed constitutional carry laws recently.